Hugh Hewitt inside the Beltway. On this Friday edition of the Hugh Hewitt Show, thank you for listening. I want to begin on a sober note. The fetching Mrs. Hewitt and I have spent most of the last 30 years in Orange County, California, so we know it very well and we read the local papers. And we're about to go back there for the holidays. And the local papers send us alerts, good news and bad. This was a bad alert on Tuesday night. Terrible car crash at the corner of Pacific Coast Highway and Newport Drive. And anyone who knows the area knows that Newport Drive plunges down to meet the ocean right there at Crystal Cove Beach. And there are giant arches, and Pelican Hill is on the right, and the Marriott Resort is on the left. It's one of the more gorgeous places. The Beachcomber restaurant is close nearby, and it's one of the most scenic drives in all of America. Unfortunately, on Tuesday night, it was the most tragic place in all of America. Two parents were out for a drive, Henry and his wife, and they were going to pick up his paycheck. Henry works two jobs at the Pelican Hills Resort and another place, and he was going to pick up his paycheck and had his wife with him, and they were accompanied by their three little girls. And their three little girls are Emma, Elena, and Samantha. And they were in the back seat dressed in their Christmas pajamas. And they were going to go get this check and then go look at the beautiful Christmas lights. Everyone knows that the boat parade goes on. There's just gorgeous lights all over Newport Coast. It's one of the cheerier places in California for people to go. And at that corner, they were struck by a drunk driver, and the parents were killed. And the little girls, Emma, Elena, and Samantha, all seriously injured. Henry and Gabby were killed. That's the mom and the dad instantly, and the three girls were smashed up. One of the girls was trying to wake up her mother in the car, but had smashed up legs. One was in surgery last night when we got the details about this. And it just breaks my heart, right? Christmas pajamas, going to see the lights, the merriest of seasons in the hardest of years, a young dad working two jobs, a young family striving to get ahead, and suddenly I have three orphan girls, and they're all in the hospital, and they're all shattered, and mom and dad are dead. So I went and found the GoFundMe page, and there are, I'm always a little bit leery of GoFundMe unless I know the person running it, and it turns out that I know Brett Namath, an attorney in Orange County, a Republican activist for a while, but now just working away as an attorney. Good guy. I called him up. I said, look, is this the right GoFundMe page? And he assured me it is. So I put it over at HughHewitt.com because the girls will be taken care of by a sister of Henry, along with the grandmother of Henry, after they get out of the hospital. And, of course, their lives are going to be very, very difficult than they were when they had a mom and a dad and a life in Christmas pajamas, and it will just be a completely different life. And contributions won't change that. The loving care of an aunt and a grandmother won't change that, but you can certainly at least make it easy to pay their deductibles and get them home and get them set up in some way. So if you have $10 or $100, I ask you for a lot of money on this show, and I'll ask you today to support Angel Tree Christian Fellowship again, because there are lots of kids with hard problems in the country, and Christmas is the season for children. But Emma, Elena, and Samantha didn't deserve that. They on a night of joy to be, you think about how they began the day and their excitement. They're going to go look for the lights. They put on their Christmas pajamas. They do the whole 9 yards. Every family in America tries to get something like that done. Any of you have ever gone through the neighborhood with that house that decorates? In fact, I think Dwayne lives in one of those neighborhoods. Don't you live in one of those neighborhoods that go crazy? Let's go over to the Weather Center.
Oh, yeah.
And so
my dad does.
Yeah, and so the cars are parked around the block, right? And they're just crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And you know the Newport Coast intersection I'm talking about, don't you?
Where?
Newport Coast and Pacific Coast Highway where the arches are.
PCH? Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where Emma, Elena, and Samantha were killed. And have you seen anything about this story? Or do you not read the papers anymore, Grumpy?
I have not read a paper in 15 years.
Okay, go over to HughHewitt.com. I've got the story there, and I've got their GoFundMe page right up there on top. And it's pretty awful. At the same time, you can make it a little bit less awful with a donation. And many of you are doing that. I put it up last night. Fetching Mrs. Hewitt and I contributed, and I'm sure you will as well. The big news of the day. It's not a very good news day. A couple of vaccines came up a cropper in Australia. Sanofi, GSK, and they're not going to work. They've got trouble down under. I got asked yesterday on the Washington Post broadcast with Jonathan Capehart why the president only bought 100 million of the Pfizer vaccine. And I was luckily, Eugene Robinson, who's a lefty, but he's a fair lefty, was on with me, and we both had to inform everyone. Look, we played vaccine roulette. We bought 100 million doses of 8 different vaccines with options for 1.6 billion doses of those 800 million doses, because we have 8 different vaccines in trial. And we weren't betting all on red or black. We weren't betting all on the number 21 or the number 6. We spread the bet around. 2 of them have come home winners. Yesterday, Pfizer was approved by our FDA. We knew it was going to be approved because it was already being used in the United Kingdom and Canada. We're a little bit slower than they are, but we're still moving at the speed of sound. And I expect Moderna will be approved next week. So 2 for 2, and then 2 come up a cropper. And the AstraZeneca one is delayed as well. So people who say, well, they didn't buy enough of Pfizer, the government did the right thing. They spread their bets. They incentivized 8 different companies, and they're going to get it. But that's unfortunate news out of Australia. Other unfortunate news, it looks like the European Union has reverted to its old dictatorial ways. There isn't going to be a Brexit deal. There's no reason not to have a Brexit deal. Boris went over there and tried to negotiate, but the EU has got their nose in the air, and they basically want the United Kingdom to bend the knee. So there's not going to be a deal. And that means markets are going to be upset today. Let me do a market report brought to you by Birch Gold this morning. A lot of you wonder what is the perfect Christmas present. If you don't know what to get someone, buy them gold. Go to hughgold.com or text my name, Hugh, H-U-G-H, to 474747. Buy them gold. Or buy them silver. Whatever Birch Gold is selling, buy it for them. If you buy gold, they'll send you some free silver, and you can put that in the stockings and keep the gold for the kids' college account or your retirement. In fact, speaking of retirement, at Birch Gold, they'll help you roll over a portion of your 401k or your IRA into a precious metals IRA, which is the safest way to go. Long-term appreciation, long-term security against the ups and downs of the market. Don't overinvest. I always say 10 to 25%. Diversify. Do not overinvest. You've got to be really wealthy to do other than diversify. Diversify reduces risk but gives you growth. And diversification includes precious metals. But whether you're buying gold for Christmas or diversifying, do it with Birch Gold. They've got the best ratings. They've got the best people. They'll take the time on the phone with you. But you begin by going to hughgold.com or by calling or by texting my name, Hugh, H-U-G-H, to 474747. A mixed market yesterday. The Dow was down 69. The NASDAQ was up 66. Go figure. Overseas today, the England 100 is down almost 1%. The German mark is down 1.66%. The 10-year Treasury is down a little bit. Oil is at $46. People just don't think Brexit's going to happen. And so they are very, very pessimistic, and so markets are down. But gold is at 1832, which is a terrific entry point. Terrific. Anytime it's under 1850, I'm going to tell you that's terrific. And sometimes it gets below 1800, but you can't play for $1 here or $1 there. You just got to buy your gold. Do so at hughgold.com. Come back. I'll give you some more news as well about the economic talks on the Hill. They're in